wondered what therapy is like or what your loved ones talk about when they are with their therapist? Well, now you can be a fly on the wall in a real therapy session, an unnoticed observer. During this episode, you'll hear a real group therapy session with a modern twist. Our group therapy sessions are done as a mock podcast where participants are encouraged to have open dialogue about their mental health and addiction challenges. As an observer of this episode, we hope that you will learn something helpful for those among us whose struggles often go unnoticed. All personally identifiable information has been removed for the privacy of the participants. Thank you for listening.
So what's been new? What's been going on? What's exciting? Tell me, fill me in.
Well, I went in the ocean today.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I don't like the ocean. So that was big.
What don't you like about it?
It's just scary. You don't know what's under you.
Yeah.
There's a whole different life under there.
Isn't it pretty cold in the ocean this time of year?
Yeah.
So you had a wetsuit on or something?
Yeah. We had a thick wetsuit because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it help?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Otherwise, I wouldn't. Maybe I would have, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not scared anymore.
Well, good for you for confronting that fear. Was that good?
Yeah.
Did that feel like an accomplishment?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. I wasn't saying you're thanks, but I was just asking a question. But sure, yes, good job. So awkward here tonight. What is going on? You guys keep looking at each other like this is weird, right? Or whatever. That's what I see it as.
It's only weird if you make it weird.
No, it's just really low key. I don't know what I walked into. You guys are both so quiet.
Well, because it's just us. Mm-hmm. We're just.
So what is that?
It's always quiet here.
Yeah, our groups have been really boring.
We lost
Not
one.
just you.
We lost one person, a key person.
Yeah.
When did he leave?
Friday.
Okay.
Friday, I guess.
Last Friday.
Yeah. So it's obviously his presence is not being here is missed.
Yeah.
So it's an adjustment. It's a reforming of the group.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
So you said, all the groups have been kind of boring since he left?
Yeah.
Talking to the mic.
Yes.
So that sucks, right?
It's just interesting, yeah.
Why is it interesting?
Well, it's just an adjustment, like you said. It's just different.
So, I wonder, what we could do to make this group not boring today for you. Because I think it's kind of a shame that it's been boring since he left, and I don't feel like it has to be that way. I think the two of you are pretty exciting on your own, and we can make this thing, really good if we want. So let's do it. Let's make it good. Come on. I can get the energy going up in here. Come on. What do you want to talk about? What is on your minds?
Me?
Okay. There's literally only two of you, so either one.
I don't know. My mind is pretty clear right now.
All right. So you guys know we have 55 minutes left to this group. If it's going to go by really slow unless we get a good conversation going. So I suggest we do that.
I found a sea urchin today.
In the ocean?
On the shore.
That's cool.
Yes. And last time I found a starfish.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you keep them?
Yes.
So you have
they're already dead. I make sure they're dead, so.
You have a sea urchin and a starfish here?
Yes.
That's cool. My friend has a picture frame with starfish on it.
That's cool.
And the dog started eating the legs of these dead starfish, their dog treats.
Oh.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's gross.
My dad shot an elk.
Yeah?
And he had the skull of it in our garage, drying out, and my dog ate it.
Oh, no.
Disgusting.
My dad was so pissed.
That's crazy.
So
The
pissed.
dog must have been so happy, though.
Yeah.
A whole
But now my dad, goes shed hunting. Do you know what that is?
No, what is that?
He just goes and looks for, antlers in the woods.
Uh-huh.
Because they, like, shed them during certain times of the year.
They do what?
Shed them.
What's that mean?
Like they fall off.
They fall
Oh, they
off.
shed them. I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah. And so my dad, like, goes and finds, like, giant antlers that elk have shed. And, like, my dogs, like, eat them. They're, like,
Yeah.
good
They're good
dog.
for dogs.
Yeah.
They're like super expensive too if you buy them in the pet shop for a dog.
Yeah. When you can just, well, I guess not here.
Yeah. Have you ever been out hunting with your dad?
Yeah.
What's that like?
I hate it.
You hate it? What do you hate about
I like
it?
camping, but I don't like hunting.
Why not?
I love camping too.
You're wearing like a camouflage t-shirt right now. It looks like you're about to
Straight
go
out of Duck
hunting.
Dynasty.
I don't know why I don't like it. Honestly.
Just not for you.
It's fun because my dad brings, like, a Polaris and a four-wheeler.
A what?
A Polaris. It's like a dune buggy, but,
Okay.
like, nicer.
Is it the killing part you don't like? Killing the animals or?
No, because my dad only kills, like, things that we eat.
Uh-huh.
It's not, like, just killing rampage.
Do you like the food, like when he makes
No, I
it?
hate it.
You hate it.
Well, I've only tried it once, okay?
Really?
Yeah.
How many times has he made it?
He, like, shoots an elk, like, every year.
And then every year you're like, nah, I'm good?
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know. It's supposed to be really healthy for you.
Uh-huh.
Like, healthier than cow or chicken. Because they're not pasteurized. They're, like, wild, natural meat.
Uh-huh.
And so it's, like, way healthier for you, but I don't know. I just can't get over the fact that it's an elk.
Like, do you see your dad, like, preparing the meat or whatever?
No, it goes to a butcher.
Okay, so
So,
he
like-
shoots it,
Yeah.
puts it on the truck, drives it to the butcher,
And then
Comes
they give us
back
back
as
with,
steaks?
like, yeah. Steaks, hamburger, jerky, sausage.
and you're just like,
Yeah, pretty much.
but the rest of your family...
Yeah, my family loves it.
Loves it.
And, like, they give it to my neighbors, and, like, everyone eats it.
My friend's brother is a hunter, and we're all hanging out, and he's like, yeah, I shot a giant bear, and I got, like, my whole freezer filled with bear
Yeah.
meat. I'm like, bear meat?
That does not
Sounds
sound good.
awful.
But, yeah, we have, like, 2 freezers full of meat right now. And that's after giving, like, my neighbors, like, a pound each.
Wow.
Honestly, I'd be so much more down to eat that though, than like
It's
all the
healthy for
stuff
you.
that
It's not,
we eat.
yeah, it's not, like, what's it called?
Are you
tastes
both?
good.
What do you
I've
like
tried
to
it.
eat, both of you?
I like beef all the way. I like chicken, but if I don't have to eat, I'm not going to.
I like anything and everything, but like I'm deathly allergic to like peanuts and like fish. Like I have like anaphylactic allergies,
Oh, okay.
but like yeah, I've been trying to like eat healthy this week.
Yeah.
But then
Her
like,
version of healthy.
my
is not
my
healthy.
version of healthy is like,
Why are you trying to eat healthy this week specifically? Like, why this week?
well, not like healthy like fruits. I'm just trying to include more like fruits.
Why?
So as in not eat so much like cheese and like grease.
I know. I mean, it's good. I totally support it. I'm just curious why. Like, what brought this about?
Just because I feel like I'm changing so much stuff about myself, like for the better, that I might as well just like do that with like my diet too.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's the smartest thing. Honestly, you know, eating what you eat is going to totally affect everything. Like, so here's an interesting thing. Like, I'm overweight, and it's something I battle with. And I have also battled with anxiety a lot.
So do I. Like a lot.
Yeah. So, like, I would get anxious and think I was dying. Did that ever happen to you?
Yeah. Like I would Google things all the time and be like, "Why is like this happening?" And be like,
Oh my gosh, it's
I'm gonna
the
fucking
worst.
die.
As soon as you Google it, you think you have everything.
"Yeah, exactly."
It's true. You're like, all of a sudden, you're like, I have that symptom. I have that symptom. I'm positive it's like, it's happening. So I thought because I'm overweight that I had diabetes. God forbid, I don't have them. But,
Oh, good.
but
That's crazy.
I was positive I had it because of the anxiety and the Googling. And then I was like, I'm going to pass out. I'm going to faint. Like, it like immediately all happened. So I looked up online, what do you do? And it's like, take a teaspoon of honey. So that like blew my mind. I'm like, wait a second. You're telling me a teaspoon of honey could save a diabetic's life? A teaspoon of honey. That's such a small amount of honey. Like, if that can be the difference between life and death, then why don't we take everything we eat much more seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, if like 1 teaspoon of a thing could change your outcome of being alive or dead, then why are we eating like piles of other food? Like, it's not a big deal. Everything you put in your body is a drug. Some are healthy drugs, some are unhealthy drugs. But literally, like, everything you ingest, you're putting into you, it's going to affect your brain chemistry, your body, everything. So, like, I think it's a really smart move, like, while you're getting sober, while you're changing, to be like, I'm also going to change the chemicals from nature that I put in my body, or not nature, because processed foods are, like, full of all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I try to eat a lot of fruits and veggies. I don't eat any meat most of the week or dairy. I really changed the way I eat. And it's like made me feel so much more energetic and better.
Yeah, same. That's good. Oh, good job.
And I only drink water.
Yeah, same. I was just going to say, I drink hella water and like my skin is clearing up and stuff. Like, thank God.
It's great. Like, it's really important. How are you both doing with... remind me what you're here for again, both of you?
Everything.
Substance abuse.
But what substances?
I'll just take like anything, like mostly like Xanax or like ecstasy or like morphine.
Okay.
Anything.
And yeah, I think with you it was a lot more things, right?
Anything.
Yeah, it was like anything. So what drugs have you done?
Basically everything except for meth and heroin.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, you don't want to be on meth or heroin. Those are really bad.
Nope.
Really hard to come off of. I've seen people do it, but it's really hard for them, and it's why put yourself through that? Yeah, I don't want to go there. Yeah, don't go there. Yeah, so you're both kind of like, so how do you feel right now? Like, do you feel like, do you still have times when you're like, oh man, I want to use? Mm-hmm. And do you?
Barely, like, honestly. I used to smoke a lot of like nicotine too, like a lot. And like I haven't even craved a cigarette or anything. But obviously, like, sometimes I get super mad and I'll be like, but like, I just like, honestly, like, that only happened once. I just like was in a super bad mood and I was like, fuck, I want to stand. But I don't really think like that anymore. Just like crazy.
Because you're cleaning out your system in every way. You know, like, it really just comes down to feelings, right? Like, you just have to feel. Mm-hmm. Instead of, like, not, like, the impulse to want to do drugs or any of that stuff is just like, I don't want to feel this, you know? I don't have to feel it, you know? That's literally what it is. It's like, the feelings are so scary because we either forget or we are not taught how to manage our feelings. And, like, sometimes we try and just detach from our feelings because that seems easier. Or sometimes we try and numb our feelings. Feeling stuff is really hard. That's the truth. I mean, it gets easier the more you get good at it. But sitting in an uncomfortable feeling, it's like, you know, especially because our uncomfortable feelings are like on quote unquote steroids of other people's uncomfortable feelings. You know, everybody who's in rehab is in rehab for the same thing. And that is that they are either scared or traumatized to feel their feelings.
Like a couple days ago, I just like started crying, and I hate crying. Like I just like I hate it. And then everyone's like I was in like a family session and like on the phone, and they're like, "Oh, like it's for like the better." Like it honestly is for the better. Like you wouldn't cry when you're like numb and like just like loaded off of drugs and stuff. So like now that I'm not on drugs, all these crazy feelings are coming in, and I'm just like, what are these? Like I've never like felt like anything in like 2 years.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a batting cage, either one of you?
No, but that sounds fun.
Okay. Do you know what it is?
Like baseball, batting cage.
Yeah, but do you know what it's like inside?
Mm-hmm.
You know, right?
My brother plays baseball.
All right, describe a batting cage, what it's like.
It's literally a bunch of cages, like giant. Well, the one that I've been to is like fences inside of a giant building, and like a mesh net at the end, at one end, and something shoots a ball and you hit it.
It's just being like thrown at you.
Yeah, the balls are just being shot at you. That's how I like feel about like when you get sober and you start feeling feelings. It's like that ball just keeps getting shot out of that thing at you in the batting cage, and you're like, you maybe used to let the ball hit you a lot, or you would just like duck away from it or run away from it, and now you literally just have to stand there and try and hit it away. The feelings are coming at you. Like it's not just like, it's not avoiding it hitting it away, but it's just like, it's as in like, it's a home run when you connect with the feelings. You know what I mean? Like when you connect, the metaphor is just the bat connecting with the ball is like you connecting with your feelings, but they're just coming at you.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh no, another one. And that's what it's like. It sounds like what you're describing to me too, because it's like all of a sudden, like you weren't feeling for a while, and now all of a sudden all these feelings are just coming at you. And it's like,
yeah, exactly like that.
It's hard. Like I think like tonight you actually seem kind of detached. I don't know if I'm reading it wrong. Am I?
I don't know.
Talking to the mic.
I don't know.
It's like such a detached answer. How do you not know?
I don't know.
It's the same answer.
Well, I don't know.
Do you feel like you're connected in this conversation? Do you like?
Yeah, I'm listening.
You're listening, but are you feeling? Like for real? Like, are you feeling what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you are more connected. It's just your body language. Your arms are folded, and you're like leaning back, and
I'm just relaxed.
Mm-hmm. Also, the fact that like when I asked about your therapist, like you're just like, yeah, whatever.
Because it is whatever. Nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, but it's just, you can talk about it. You can feel it. You can allow yourself to like think about it, and like, is it messed up? Nobody told you your therapist left. Is that something that bothers you? If it is, that's totally healthy and fine. Like, if it isn't, also fine, whatever. But it's like, how do you really feel about it?
That's how I feel.
Like how?
I don't know.
You don't know. So like for you, when I'm asking you to like what you feel, you're just like, I don't know. It's like you're just not even in touch with your feelings right now.
I never am.
Why not?
Because there's no need.
What does that mean?
There's no need.
I'll ask again. What does that mean?
I don't know what it means.
You're being so avoidant. Like, I just really want you to open up, and you're just like, nope. Nope. I don't know.
I don't know.
Why don't
I don't know.
Why aren't you never in touch with your feelings?
Because I don't want to be.
Why?
Because I don't need to be.
Is it painful?
No.
Why would you think you don't need to be in touch with your feelings? Like, everybody needs to be in touch with their feelings. That's how you like, sorry, I have a thing in my head. But that's how you get past them. That's how you get past them. That's how you process them and deal with them.
Well, my problem really isn't what I deal with.
What's the problem?
It's more of like substance abuse and like being angry.
I feel like the substance abuse is more of the solution than the problem.
That's what everyone thinks, but I don't think that.
Why? Well, why don't you agree with everyone?
Because I do it for fun, not to mask my feelings.
But, okay, so I'm going to go with you on that, but like, It's only fun because they mask your feelings.
No.
Then why is it fun?
Because it makes me feel different than what I feel.
Exactly. That's the definition of masking your feelings. You're putting one feeling over another. You're like, I feel different now than the way I was feeling. I am layering a new feeling on top of that feeling that I didn't want to feel. A better feeling. Or quote unquote better feeling.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
This is not like me trying to like win an argument with you.
I know.
I'm just trying to break it down for you because like it seems like you're in denial about it, which I understand. I get it. I understand that. It's just like, sorry, I got this like little thing in my eye and it keeps hurting me.
Okay.
All right. It's infinitely better to feel your feelings. It's harder. It's scarier. It literally hurts.
I've done it before.
And it sucked, right?
No.
Then why don't you keep doing it?
Because I don't need to.
You think you just feel your feelings like once and that's it?
That's all I need.
It's not what any human needs, and you're a human.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like you're like almost like telling me shut up.
No.
So like then what does I don't know mean?
It means I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, what do you mean you don't know? You don't know what?
I don't know what I mean.
When you say you don't know what you mean when you say what?
What?
You said I don't know, and I said I don't. What does I don't know mean? And you said I don't know means I don't know what I mean.
Exactly.
And I'm saying, like, finish the sentence. I don't know what I mean when I what?
What I just said.
So like you're saying things, but you don't know what you mean by them.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's find out what you mean. Let's explore it. Are you following, like, this whole thing?
Trust me, I hear every single thing.
So, like, what do you think about it?
I don't know. I think that maybe she just doesn't want to talk. Or she's just going through it.
But,
Or
like,
she really has no idea what she means. And, like, doesn't want to explore it. I don't know. I'm not inside her head. So, like, really she can only make her own choices. But, like, I'm just, like, here for, like, myself, you know?
I hear you. But you guys are... One of the best things you can do for yourselves is to be there for each other, too.
Yeah, I think
She is. You are.
Thanks. Yeah, I think that, like, sometimes...
I just don't know.
She just, like, doesn't...
I don't really care
like,
about a lot of things.
Like, maybe not that, but just doesn't, like... I don't know how to put it into words, honestly.
Just say it.
No, girl, like, I really don't. Like, I would.
Okay, you just say it then.
I just said it.
Jesus.
I don't fucking know what it means.
Why don't you care about a lot of things? Why are you so detached? And I'm
Because it
not
only hurts in the
criticizing you.
end.
What?
It doesn't benefit you.
What doesn't benefit me?
Caring.
Caring about you guys doesn't benefit me?
No, me. There's no benefit in caring about things.
Why?
Why is there?
I feel like she's cared a lot before. And then, like, it kind of just got ruined, in a way.
How so?
I don't know. That's for her to speak on. It's, like, it's her life. But just, like, from my point of view and, like, from... Just, like, the things I just feel like she, like, honestly did try her best at something. And then it kind of just was, like, unrecognized on in, like,
Exactly.
the past. And so I feel like she just, like, doesn't know, like, what to do. I'm not a therapist. I have no fucking clue.
But she just read my mind, so it's okay.
I'm just curious, like, it seems to me, and I'm not a therapist, but I'm just a person, and I'm guessing, that it seems to me that you are shutting yourself off from a lot of life.
Pretty much.
And I'm like curious, like, why would you want to do that? And my theories are just theories, but they're just like, I'm like, maybe you experienced some really bad stuff and you got burned when you cared, and now you're just like, okay, fine, I see what happens when I care. It's way too painful. Let me just not care. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's like my thing on that. Sometimes the reason we get burned, and because you haven't told me what yours is, or if you did, I don't remember. You might want to remind me. But do you want to remind me what it was that burned you?
No.
Okay, maybe you will. But sometimes the reason we get burned is because we're attracted to the flames. You know, we're attracted to the fire. Sometimes we're attracted to people who are going to hurt us, who are not good for us. And we kind of sugarcoat it in our head for ourselves. Like, oh, that person's actually good. That person can actually give me what I want. That person gets me. But the part of you that person gets is the part of you that you almost don't get yourself. It's that messed up, like, darkness inside of you that you connect with that person on. And the problem with connecting over darkness is you're going to get darker outcomes, you know? So most of us are victims of abuse of one thing or another from either family or someone else. And that kind of teaches us how we're supposed to feel about ourselves incorrectly. Like telling yourself that you're not worthy of better, telling yourself that, you know, you deserve some kind of pain or something like that, or punishment, or whatever the thing is for you. So you gravitate towards people who are going to do that, even if it's subconscious. Like, oh, that person's going to treat me badly. I feel comfortable here. I feel at home. Because that's how I feel I'm supposed to be treated. Then you get burned. Just like you got burned last time you were around that kind of person. And then you get hurt. And then you detach. And what I can say to that is that you come somewhere like this, you talk about it, you understand, like, why you wanted to get near that person who had those bad qualities in the first place. Then you understand that you actually do deserve better. It's hard to understand that. But even the fact that you're eating better tells me that you're coming along that path where you're starting to really value yourself.
Yeah.
And, like, you have to take care of yourselves in life. Like, I know a guy who just blames his parents for everything.
Yeah, that's how I used to be.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Well, like, just, like, I would just blame a lot of things on, like, my dad. Because I thought that, like, he was the reason, like, well, I mean, like, even now, like, a lot of people are, like, him in perspective, like, I still thought, like, oh, like, he's the reason, like, I'm how I am. Like, he literally shaped me to just be a fuck up. But, like, I'm realized that I can't blame my problems on anybody else anymore. Because, yeah, it's just, like, it's just not going to be beneficial for myself. Like, in the end, like, I'm about to be, like, 18, like, in a couple months. And, like, I need to get my life together and, like, stop blaming everybody else for, like, how I am, because obviously it can change how I am.
Right.
And, like, that's what I'm trying to do.
It may even be their fault that you are the way you are. Like, you're blaming them might have been, like, spot on. But you don't need to be a prisoner of their abuse.
The Hills Treatment Center is an exceptional drug rehabilitation facility in Los Angeles, dedicated to the most progressive addiction treatment and recovery modalities. The Hills offers a unique educational and therapeutic rehabilitation experience that aligns with the most highly regarded standards of drug addiction treatment. The Hills provides a myriad of specialized treatment programs that support the addicted person and their loved one from start to finish during rehabilitation. Moreover, treatment plans are made on an individual basis, and the experts at the Hills involve the addicted person throughout, knowing that they must have a stake in their own recovery and rehabilitation. We accept most major insurances, including United Healthcare, Cigna, and Aetna. For more information about the Hills Treatment Center, call 888-620-6877 today.
And it's like what I was telling you about this friend of mine who just blames his parents for everything. He's in his freaking 30s. It's like, yeah, dude, your parents were probably pretty shitty to you. I believe that. And you should have got better, and you deserved better, and you didn't. And you got stuck with the hand you got. But now you're like wasting your life living in the misery of your youth, of your bad situation that you're not even in anymore. Like, it's time for your own sake to let it go, or to resolve it for yourself, or to like, you can't wait for your parents in that case, or whoever the person who is abusive to you. You can't wait for them to give you permission to move on. You can't wait for them to come around and say they're sorry and change so that you can get what you feel you deserved, and then you can move forward with your life. You cannot afford to wait that wait, because it will probably never happen. And even if it does happen, they may like mess up again. You cannot hinge.
You can say sorry, and it just flies right over your head because you're just like, oh well.
For sure. You can't hinge your happiness and your progress on somebody else's ability to do the right thing. So like the people who burned you, you can't wait for them to come around and realize they wronged you. It may never happen, probably never will happen. And the truth is, unfortunately, most people, not true for all people, but most people do not care about us or anyone else but themselves and their families. They just don't. Like, we want to believe they do, but they don't. They just don't care. They hurt us. They don't care. You know why? Because they never like went and reflected and went to like a rehab or a therapist or did any kind of work on themselves to try and gain some real self-awareness, to try and gain some empathy, to try and gain some perspective on life. And they never ever will take the time, almost all of them will never take the time to think, who did I wrong and how can I make it better? How did I wrong them? Most people just do the crap they do, and then they do some more crap, and they go and do some more crap, and that's it. And they just don't work on themselves. They do not improve. They do not change. They are just set in motion the way they are. And they go through their life like that, and then they get old. Hopefully they get old. And they die frozen in progress as a human being. Whereas you both have literally taken the time out of your lives to come here, to grow, to be the people, the strong people who lead our world. Whether or not you realize it, you probably think I'm just here to get off substance abuse and then get on with my life. But you are the special ones. You really, truly are, because you're the ones who overcome your problems. And in life, you have 3 kinds of people. I really want you to pay attention because I want you to really think about this. And it's true. You have 3 kinds of people in life. The first kind of people, they don't really have many problems to overcome. Nothing that bad ever happened to them. They never fell into any kind of addictive or destructive behavior. They just kind of have it going for them. I call them like the green light people. Their whole life is just green lights. They never had to slow down at a yellow. They never got stopped at a red. They never got a ticket. They just glide through life. And sometimes we think about those green light people and you're like, yo, why can't I be that person? That person has never, ever been faced with a situation which makes him or her grow as a person, improve. Why would they? There's been no reason to. It's working fine the way it is. So they're not improving. That's the first kind of people. The second kind of people are people who, like, they have their problems. They wind up on drugs. They wind up, on alcohol. They wind up abused or abusing someone or something. And that's just how it is. They tell themselves, I'm a crappy person. They don't like to face it. They try to numb it out. They blame someone else. They wind up in jail. They OD. Or they just continue on like a piece of crap for the rest of their life. That's the second kind of people. The third kind of people is you guys. You had your bumps in the road. You got stopped at the red lights, right? You hit some potholes, whatever it is. But then you're like, I'm going to rise above this. That makes you the strongest kind of people. You're stronger than the first kinds of people because they've never rose above anything. And you're stronger than the second kind of people because they just succumb to it. So you're here. You are the heroes of the story of the world. And some people think of people in rehab as the weaker ones. But the truth is that the people in rehab are the strongest people. And that's not just some nonsense that like you hear in rehab. It's empirically true. It's logically true. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, who's going to be stronger? Like the person who like walks from one side of the pool to the other, or the person who does it while dragging weights underwater, fighting resistance the entire time? It's resistance strength. You're fighting against yourself to become a better person. Mm-hmm. Both of you are. You are fighting against your past. You're fighting against the abuse that you've taken. The drug abuse, the physical abuse, the verbal abuse, the getting burned and like feeling I don't want to invest in my feelings in anything anymore. And then you open up and you trust again. And you say, fine, I'm gonna trust, but this time I'm gonna be really picky about who I trust with my feelings. So I'm not just gonna give them to anybody. Like somebody's gotta be worthy now to handle my feelings. Like if you're gonna be vulnerable with someone, you better make sure, damn sure, that they're not gonna hurt you and burn you again. So on the one hand, you have to be a little cynical. But on the other hand, you have to be extremely optimistic and hopeful. Like you have to be trusting. You just have to have some idea of who to trust. You cannot just be going and trusting someone because you feel like you have a lot in common with them. Because you better find out that the stuff you have in common is good stuff. Not just abuse. Like people who are abused we're always going to be attracted to other people who were abused, right? Or people who are abusive because it's like home. Mm-hmm. And it's an incorrect assumption that pain is love. It's not. It's just like some kind of manic bipolar thing that happens a lot in people where they love someone but they abuse them at the same time. And I mean, if you don't medicate that kind of thing, you wind up really hurting people. If you don't work on it in therapy, you will get hurt and you will hurt. You know? So, like, I deal with this, like, a lot with people in rehab, and, like, you hear these stories and they were, like, abused, and either they're, like, making excuses for the person who abused them, or they're, like, really mad at them. But my feeling is, understand that it's not your fault. Understand that that person is sick. And move away from it. Because you're not sick anymore. You were once sick. You ain't sick anymore. You're already not sick anymore. You're both on your way to becoming recovered. That's a decision you're making. That's a decision you're making with your actions in the group. In this group, in every group, in every day that you're here. The decision is to be like, I got this. I'm going to take care of myself. From now on, I put myself first, and I take care of myself. And I value myself. And that means also deleting those thoughts from your head, literally going in and deleting them. The negative thoughts, the thoughts that make you beat up on yourself. They're like corrupt files if your brain is a computer. Somebody told you to believe this stuff when you were young, probably a parent or someone close to you. So you trusted it. And it was false information. You do deserve better. You do deserve to live your life to the fullest. You know? You do deserve to be loved and to love and trust and feel and be able to, like, feel and resonate with other people and care. By the way, to be able to care about stuff is a great feeling. It's just about learning the tools here of knowing who to trust out there. Yeah. Because you don't want to gravitate towards the kind of people you used to gravitate towards, because you gravitated towards them out of pain. I mean, unless these people also went through it and they also decided to become better people, they're just people who are hurt and just living in their hurt and passing it on. So we are actually out of time. It went fast in the end, I think. But consider maybe next week talking about some of the things that you don't like talking about. Just consider it. And I want to try and do my best to teach you both, like, who to trust when you get out there. It's not going to throw your feelings away. Who to trust, what kind of people to look for, what kind of qualities to look for in people, to know now these people have my best interests at heart. It's a tough, it's always a gamble, but you could be a smart gambler, or you could be the person who doesn't even know how to play poker and throws cards down. And if they have some beginner's luck, they're just going to lose it, you know. It's a gamble, but it's a gamble that it can be smart. It could be a smart gamble, you know. All right, what do you both think before we close out tonight? Any thoughts on today's group?
I think that the information was, like,
valid.
Yeah, like, very helpful, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. My mind is so, like, it just, like, blank for some reason right now. But, yeah. It's just, like, something, like, you need to hear, you know?
I hope so. What about you? What do you think?
The same thing. It's valid information.
All right. Cool. Well, have a good night. I'll see you next week, all right?
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Unnoticed Observer, your window into group therapy. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please leave a rating and review. For all the latest updates and info, follow us on Facebook at Unnoticed Observer Podcast. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.